So these plants here are just gorgeous little cherry tomatoes. And they just ramble. They come up every year, all in different spots. You know, really good sets on them. Okay, more in there, more here, more here. And this is just one plant. Now this come up on its own. Probably about, say about 2 months ago. Just come up on its own. Now I originally bought these plants as a little punnet of tomatoes out of Woolies, and they're really nice. And I ended up just grabbing a few. There's one there, really right, but I like them when they're orange. They're a little bit more sour. So oh, yum. They're nice and crispy. Well, like I said before, the beauty of this is they just ramble across the ground. They just do their own thing. And they provide shelter for this soil, okay, and any other plants that are sort of planted up amongst them. And tomatoes are really good for that. I call them a little protector plant because it's kind of what they do with other things that are growing in the area. You know, we've got more little flower sets and things like that. And that's just one plant. Okay, it's massive. And it just rambles and it just creeps and does its thing. And we go down here. There's another one. I think there's actually a couple of plants in here. Like I said, I don't do anything with these at all. They get a bit of water. Look, you know, I've got absolutely trays and trays and trays of tomatoes inside. I never have to buy them, never have to worry about them. I'm not spending time training these things up trellises, which is really important to me, because I think that just takes way too much time. So, you know, and they're wrapping around this little pomegranate here. Gorgeous little pomegranate. It's going good this year. And then slowly but surely, he'll come creeping over here. And this is a little pepino plant. Gorgeous little pepino melon. I haven't got any fruit in here yet. Ain't looking. Oh, there we go. There's a little bubby pepino melon. Just there. So these tomatoes, they'll eventually just ramble through here, through the blueberry, and then just ramble through all this section here and provide me just an absolute abundance of tomatoes. Now out of these two gardens, there's probably only 2 or 3 plants here, just in this little garden here. This garden's only relatively new. It used to be just rows and rows of annuals and things like that, but I'm planting more perennial stuff sort of as I go through. And these little tomatoes, they've sort of become an absolute godsend as far as keeping this soil warm, because it's winter here at the moment. So if you haven't tried it like this before, there we go, there's a bit of a bigger look. If you haven't tried it like this before, give it a go. And it's so simple. And even if, you know, you eat all your tomatoes off your plant, just save a few really, really ripe ones and just squeeze them over the ground here and there willy-nilly. And sooner or later they'll pop up and they'll just start growing. No training up trellises, no snipping them, no nothing. Just zero work. So it's a good thing. Pineapples, yum. There's another one here. Like, this is a little Panama berry. And these things grow amazingly quick. Ridiculously quick. I only put this thing in Christmas time, I think it was. 8 months old. And it was just a tiny, tiny little cutting way down there somewhere. And this was the same thing here. I've had actually a few tomato plants just cruising around here. And this one here is sort of almost coming at its end. I dare say this would be over a year old, this tomato plant. It's gone through summer and it's coming in winter. Now also what I'm finding too is when these seeds self-sprout, you end up with like winter varieties and summer varieties. And as time sort of progresses, you end up with plants all the time. So you'll get some tomatoes that will start dying back in winter, and then you'll get some plants that will start germinating in winter. So I basically end up with tomatoes all year round. And we've actually picked this just so many times. It's still producing fruit, but it is on its last legs now. And it's actually a different shape to the ones up the top there. They're more round, and they're super sweet. Super, super, super sweet. Oh, yum. Heaps softer. The ones up the top, they're a lot harder skinned, a lot more crunchy, and really, really sweet. These ones are they're just sweet and soft. They're lovely. So I'll be able to gather a few more up from here today. But as far as this plant, it's done its job through summer. This was actually a really, really healthy plant at one stage, probably a few months ago. Really dense. And when this little Panama berry was small, it actually protected it from the sun, from the wind, and all sorts of things. So utilise tomato plants for what they are. They love rambling across the ground. Okay, I don't think they're designed to be grown up trellises. I mean, you can do that if you want. That's great. That's fine. But I'm finding now these things do much better as a ground cover. Okay, people get worried about, oh, the insects will eat the berries and stuff like that. I lose a few. I don't lose too many at all. It's actually quite surprising. But if the bugs want to eat a few tomatoes here and there, I don't care. They're just doing their thing. That's what bugs do. But I think the benefit of growing these things along the ground as a ground cover is just a champion idea for a tomato. Okay, a very, very overlooked plant as far as different benefits it can provide you in the garden. Okay, so something to keep in mind. And that's about it for the day. I've got a few more up the back here as well, but all you guys know what tomato plants look like. And thanks for watching again, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.